Actually, we're going to go slightly lower because there's a bolt here, so we're going to start around here. So that's going to be our height. Again, put our little paper cardboard template on. That is going to be our height. So we don't need to do that top bit. That's all right. So we didn't need to do that bit, but that's just how to do it. And then we're going to work parallel from here up to here. Thereabouts. Good. Come on, scissors. There we go. Little mark on there. We don't need it, but it'll help us guide. I don't know why I did that, but there we go. And cut this down. Cut this across here. And that is going to be our patch. Alright, so now all we've got to do is copy that exactly as it was. Easy, isn't it? See, it looks complicated, but to do it on the car is really easy, really difficult because you're working down in the footwell. Do it on the bench, easy peasy. Right, I think somebody's here. The next thing we're going to do is transfer this to a piece of scrap steel. Why is it scrap steel? It looks like the end plate. Well, Michelle made me a template for the patch he thought that we'd need, but I sort of inadvertently cut it out, not realising that he didn't fold it round, he didn't make it go around this corner, and besides that doesn't fit anyway. So, we're going to recycle that, make it into a panel. And by jolly gumdrops, that fits beautifully. So if we put that nice like that, then we can get our Sharpie, which is probably dry now because we've got to put the top on. See if we can resurrect that Sharpie by pulling its nib out, as you do. And indeed it works. Right, so line down there, across there. Just draw around it. And once you're drawn round it, now we can cut it out. Now I'm going to use my slitting disc to cut that out. I could do it with the plasma, but the plasma is up the other end of the shop. Now I want it down here, so we'll cut that out. We'll go and get some goggles and glasses. I want to show you something interesting. There's two types of slitting discs. I use these things here. They're very thin. I don't know what they are. It's 1.2 millimeter, I think. I don't know what these are. I can't read it really. But that's what they're selling them as a slitting disc, and you can see there is a distinct difference. These take forever. Now I think somewhere in the box of bits here. Yeah, cut off wheels. Yeah, that's 1/16, but I can't sort of read it in millimetres. But I've got rid of one of those things. Where's in the box here? Well, typically I can't find them. But the old type are no good. You've got to get these thin ones because they're like a knife through butter. So, keeping your template handy, just as a guide, we're now going to cut this out. Now, again, I'm going to just cut right down the middle of the line, and hopefully we'll end up with the right size. We don't have to be sort of wholly accurate. I mean, we're not making a space shuttle. When you cut in steel, don't cut it sort of like that. get really down deep and dirty with it, because it'll keep it in a nice straight line, if you see what I mean. Hey, look at that. Dear me, you could build a bridge with that. Right, let's continue with that. Goggles on. Let's keep cutting. Seems about right, doesn't it? Now we've got a few bits here that we've got to, this one here we've got to cut, so we're just going to fold that back, offer it over our template, mark it, and cut it with a slit. Now obviously we're going to have a problem here because we've got to do folds on two planes. We've got to fold this bit, we've got to fold this bit this way, we've got to fold this bit this way. Now we have a problem because I haven't got what's called a finger brake. That means you can, when you've got a sheet metal brake or a folder, mine's just good for making very primitive bends like that or like that. But a finger brake, you can actually put the fingers in here and fold this without affecting anything else. You see what I mean? You can just keep folding it. I can't do that. So I've got to plan how I'm going to fold this metal. And I don't know. I can't do it in that vise. I can't do it in... see, can I do it in that way? Just wait a minute, I'm talking to myself. I've decided how I'm going to do it. I'm going to do these big bends in my brake, and I'm going to do these little ones in the vise, sort of like that, and just bend them and hammer them, because I can't do it any other way, you know. I just can't do it. It is a tricky thing to do. Oh, look at the camera, it's on bat vision. But it'll work. It'll work. Don't worry. It'll work. So what we're going to do now is transfer our bend lines onto the panel. How do we do that? Well, we're over here now, aren't we? That's better. My new stand should be coming in any moment now, so I'm looking forward to that because this one's getting a bit annoying. Fold it over. Now this time we want to be on the inside of that line, and with a bit of luck those will all fold within that line there. Now what we want to do is we've got to mark where we're going to put our sheet metal fold. So it's going to be up here. There's one, and there's the other. Now, because we might have to bend either side of on the brake, we don't know. We can see our bend line is here, right, going up this way and going up this way. But sometimes we have to flip it over, so you can't mark it. So what I do, I'll just get a grinder and put just the slightest. Put a very slight notch in, then you can see it both sides. It depends which way you're going to cut it. Then we're going to, oh, there's a bit there, nasty bit. We're going to buff all this lot off, because this was cut with the plasma and the grinder and all sorts of stuff. There's plasma cuts here. We're going to buff that off, and then we'll go and put it in the press, in the brakes. I'm going to use an 80 grit flat wheel reason for that is that if it's nice and it's all buffed off, it's easier to put in and out of the brake, so you've got no lumpy bits, you know, sticking out, which will make it difficult to get into the machine. I think I'm right. So I'll tell you what, as a special treat, I'll try and get into the container and take a picture, you know, take the camera with us. It'll be a mess. So here we are in the container. There is stuff everywhere. When I made this brake about 20 years ago, and it's been alright, you know, it's worked out quite nice, but you've got to plan ahead where you're going to do your bends. And this is why we put that little notch in there. I need to do some tube nuts on here. I copied this off a design in a shop window, and the only thing about it is it's not very good for doing like compound bends, and I over-engineered it by putting these little brackets in here so you could move this piece backwards. Oh no, was it that piece? No, you could open the jaw in the middle so you could put things in from this way and make a 90-degree bend, but we didn't really need it. So I'm just going to sort of rough this up at the moment. You sort of get the idea. The other one goes that way. You see why I ground off the rubbish? And this is where it gets a bit tight. You see, because I've got a problem with this bar, I'm sort of limited by bends. Now, did I get it right? Did I get it the right way? Yeah, not too bad. Not too shabby. But you can see why I can't bend these bits, if you see what I mean. I can't get in to bend them. Which is a shame really, but I didn't design it for that. It was just to make... You can bend 3mm steel with that thing. It goes quite nice. Right, let's go back in the shop. Right, here goes nothing. So we've got our piece here roughly bent, because we can always straighten this back out again. We can always press it back down again. It is a bit of an exaggeration at the moment, but believe me, it'll come right. We're going to start to bend these bits here. It's going to be tricky, but not impossible, because that should be in a straight line. Keep that tight. Big hammer. Close enough for me. There's a phantom. You have to be careful when you're bending 90 degrees, because you can actually bend it, twist it this way. And this little tricky one at the end, well, that is going to be tricky. Flatten that bit off. Yeah, this is going to be a nightmare to do this one. I'm going to have to do it just a little bit at a time. Yeah, I would have liked to have clamped that a little bit deeper, but I can't, you see. I can do that, straighten that a bit out again. Allow for a better bend. Oh, it's like pulling teeth. There, that's not so bad. That's not bad at all for a patch. It is thick steel, I must admit. Now, let's go and see how it fits.